Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially halfway through the Call of Duty 2020 reveal Easter egg, and we have a lot to go through. As always, this is your #1 source for the latest Call of Duty 2020 news, so if you are new around here and have not yet subscribed, make sure you do so with the bell tick so you don't miss out. And remember, the finale of this Easter egg hunt is on Wednesday, so you want to make sure you're here every single day so you can keep yourself updated to not miss out. I'd love to know in the comment section below, what are you thinking of this reveal thus far? And if you found this video informative and enjoyed it, then let that cheeky like button know by clicking it and turning it blue. So let's jump into summarizing this weekend's Easter egg antics, and it's involved bunkers, it's involved numbers, and even more numbers. Breaking down what is happening is every day we're getting a brand new VHS tape added, which we can play and displays a 20-minute video about events that occurred between that year. Yesterday we got 1968 to 69 version 1, on top of the previous VHS renamed 1961 to 1962, which was now version 2 or volume 2. Following the pattern that we started with on Friday, where we have numbers that periodically show up during the VHS tape, VCR also periodically flashes a code, which is another section for us to discover on the Warzone map. Yesterday took us to section B5, which is specifically bunker number 3, which is on the western part of Verdansk, and we have to go into it and use the code 876-24851, which allows the bunker to open and we can go inside. This has never been opened before, so this is very exciting. Brand new bunkers, you know we love them on the channel. Inside of here is some very interesting stuff. There is an elevator at the back, there's a desk in the middle which has a bust of Vladimir Lenin, who was the Prime Minister of the Soviet Union. He was also the founder of an organization known as Communist International and the posthumous source of Leninism, a doctrine codified and conjoined with Karl Marx's works to form Marxism-Leninism, which became the communist worldview. Aside from that, we have a red telephone and we have different scraps of ciphers. Now, this has been an ongoing thing since we opened up the shack in Warzone on Friday. Every day, we're opening a new part of the Warzone map, which reveals more scraps towards different ciphers that we are ultimately going to be working out come Wednesday. On your screen now is the cipher scraps in question. We have 3 of 5 and 4 of 5 of the ANF cipher. We have 3 of 4 of the Nixie charge cipher, and 2 out of 4 of the Venona cipher. Also in the room, there is a ton of VHS tapes, which only references one thing, and that is, of course, the main website itself where we're playing the VHS tapes. There's also like a Soviet Union star, and there's just a lot of Black Ops-esque machinery in here, which looks really suspicious. And there is a weird code of sorts on the back of the Vladimir Lenin's bust, but I can't tell if it's just a texture or like something that we actually need to pay attention to. For now, I wouldn't really put too much effort into it since it's a little bit hard to make out, but it is a interesting detail. Yeah, the big thing we learned yesterday was that the tapes from previous days will update. And so the first tape we got on Friday updated, which showed even more numbers than it originally did when we played the tape on Friday. And come today, we got another new tape called 1972 to 73 version 1. 68 to 69 tape got a volume 2 change, and the first one on Friday, 61 to 62, had a volume 3 change, which has even more numbers in both of those. So every day, as we get more tapes, we need to go and watch the older tapes to get even more numbers. What the numbers are for, though, we don't know at this moment in time, but I'm sure it will all make sense. But during this new tape, of course, we have periodic numbers that flash, but then the VCR also periodically flashes a code for another Warzone location, this time being H8. And this took us to the prison section of Warzone, where there is a little shack southwest of the Zordaya prison in Verdansk. If we go to the shack and enter the code 729-48531, we are allowed to go inside. And this may look very familiar because we're going to touch on this, but this isn't the first time that we've seen this before. It's a shack which allows us to look inside, and inside, along some loot, we have more cipher sets that we'll show in a moment, but there's also the chassis of an RCXD car from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and Black Ops 4. It is the exact RCXD model. You can see the actual control for it as well. It says remote control. There's a set of batteries there on the table with it, and it's 1,000,000% the chassis of an RCXD. There's no way that you can tell me any different. Now, what is crazy is I uploaded a video back in the middle of May, I think during season 3 of Warzone, where this shack was open. You had no code to get in, and the RCXD chassis was there. So I made a video talking about this back then, but no one really understood why it was there or what it was needed for. But come season 4, this shack was locked back up and you couldn't get inside of there. Now we can go back in there. It makes sense that now we can go in there. There's an actual reason for it. And back then, there were no ciphers. So the ciphers are all part of the overall bigger picture that we're going to need to solve. As for the ciphers in there, we've got 1/4 of the Nixie charge. We have 3/3 of the Nixie stack. We have 3/4 and 4/4 of the PSG cipher. So we only need one more, and then we've got all 4 scraps officially found in game. And what we also learned yesterday is that the VHS tapes are color coded, and these cipher papers are also color coded. Each of these ciphers represent a different colored, like, yellow stamp. And that's exactly what we have on the VHS tapes as well. So we know that every day when we're looking at certain years and the numbers that are involved in those tapes, we can tell what cipher the tape links to by the colored sticker that's on the VHS tape. So for example, the PSG cipher scraps that we got in today's update are green. So we know that the VHS that has the green sticker on it is going to be directly linked to that cipher solve. This is going to get incredibly hectic over the next few days, because every time we get a new tape, the old ones get updated, and we have to physically watch them all through in order for the website to count as the progress for that day being solved. And in order for us to get all the numbers we need to solve these different ciphers, we need to actually watch all these tapes through to make sure we're getting every single number, which is absolutely wild. So what do we learn from these tapes? Well, from yesterday's tape, there's a section where it flashes to a cartoon commercial, which Captain Rutger over on Twitter worked out that it was the very first Mountain Dew commercial from the 1960s, which is almost like a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of, hey, Call of Duty is going to have a Mountain Dew promotion this year because they included a Mountain Dew commercial in the TV. We've also had tapes that show all of JFK's presidency, and now we're on to Richard Nixon. There's also a lot of references to the space race, which is very, very fascinating and very generalized. Tells us that this game is going to involve Americans and Soviets. And there's also a mix of Vietnam in there. So Cold War is almost a guarantee at this rate. So what is next? Well, tomorrow we're going to get another Easter egg update. So be sure to tune to the channel with the bell turned on so you don't miss out on the stream. But there's 2 more bunkers that need to be opened. And then there's also a shack near TV station. Once we have that, we have all the puzzle pieces, and Wednesday is going to be where it's all going to kick off. We're going to have final VHS tape added, but then we're going to have several volumes of the previous days to go through, which is going to be nuts, but it's going to be insane. We're going to solve so much, and hopefully then we're really going to have an idea on where we're going with this reveal. But if you're excited, be sure to drop a like. Let me know if this was informative and you guys are hyped. But as always, I'll catch you tomorrow for the next part of this Easter egg reveal. I'll catch you then.